Hey, fellow mathers, before we get into this episode, we want to share with you how you can get access to free content, professional learning that will keep your students engaged and doing the math that matters. Get ready to go to this link, mathisfigureoutable.com/challenge.
That's right. Registration is open for the free Math is Figureoutable Challenge that's starting May 15th and runs to the 17th at 7 p.m. Central. We're going to have 3 nights jam-packed with learning and routines that you can take straight to your classroom.
In these challenges, we have a great time. We do some math, talk about classroom experiences, give away super cool bonuses and prizes. You won't just walk away with routines that are naturally engaging and encourage your students to think mathematically. You'll also have a chance to win over $6,000 worth in prizes, including a few virtual PD sessions for your school. I'll be joined by my wonderful co-host Kim and special guest Jenna Labe.
You can register at mathisfigureoutable.com/challenge for a fantastic learning experience. That's mathisfigureoutable.com/challenge. Now on to the show.
Hey, fellow mathematicians, welcome to the podcast where math is figure-outable. I'm Pam Harris.
And I'm Kim Montague.
And this episode is a Math Strat Chat episode where we chat about our math strategies. Every Wednesday evening, I throw out a math problem on social media, and people from around the world chat about the strategies they use and comment on others' thinking.
All right, so this Wednesday, our math problem was 16% of 22. How would you solve this problem? Pause the podcast, solve it however you want. Remember, the problem was 16% of 22. Solve it, and then come on back to hear how we solve it.
Bam. All right.
You want to go first, or you want me
to? You go first.
Okay. 16%. I got my pencil. 16% of 22.
I got my pen.
I'm going to go with 10% of 22 is 2.2, 2 and 2/10. And 5% would then, because it's half of 10%, 5% would be 1 and 1/10. So 1%, okay, so 10% was 2.2. So 1% would be 22 hundredths, so like 22 cents.
Okay.
So when I put those together, I've got 3.3 and 22 cents. So I'm thinking about that like $3.30, the 3.3. And 22 cents. So that's 3 and 52 hundredths.
For 16%.
16%.
Nice. So you found 10%, 5%, 1%, added those together to get the 16%.
Yep.
Nice. So a little 5 is half of 10 strategy.
Mm-hmm.
You can find 16 times anything or 16% of anything. Nicely done. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit with the commutative property. If 16% of 22 is going to be equivalent to 22% of 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to develop that right now, but I've learned that and I know I can use it. So now I'm going to find 22% of 16. So I'm thinking about 16s and I'm going to find 2% of 16s. Am I? Is that what I'm going to do? Actually, I'm going to find 10% of 16. So 10% of 16 is 1.6 or 1 6/10. To help me think about 20% of 16. And 20% is double 10%. So double 1.6 is 3.2. Now that I have 20%, I'm going to scale that down to get 2%. And so if 20% was 3.2, 2% is divided by 10 of that. So divide 3.2 by 10 is 0.32 or 32 hundredths.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Yes. So now I've got 20% is 3.2 and 2% is 0.32. I add those together to get 22% and I end up with 3 and 52 hundredths or 3.52.
Hey, so I know this is a short episode. Nicely done, by the way. You and I both said point, and people have massive problems with us saying point. Do you want to comment on that for just a second?
Yeah, I mean, so I think we both said both. I said 32 hundredths and 0.32. I don't know that I said 3 and 2/10. I think, and anyway, so we like to say both.
Yeah.
Is it correct that 3.2 is actually 3 and 2/10? Sure. And I think it's important that kids hear that, do that, mess with it more than just hear it. I had the experience of as a student where I had a teacher all year long made me say 3.2 as 3 and 2/10, and it did nothing for me.
Correct.
Just the saying of it did nothing. Now, if we would have dove, I never know what the past tense of dived in. I don't know. If we would have gone into it more and actually developed like place value and why it was called that, maybe it would have done a little bit more for me, but just the naming of it that way did nothing for my place value. I just memorized how to say it. I said it that way.
Yep.
So we're good. Say it both. In common speak, people talk about $3.2 million in debt or whatever.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. And so I think we need both. So we need both. There you go.
All right.
That's why we say both. Woo!
Okay. Well, we can't wait to hear everyone else's strategies. Maybe it's like one of ours. Represent your thinking. It's super fun to see you like sketch out your thinking rather than just type out some numbers. So take a picture of your work and tell the world on social media. And while you're there, comment on other people's thinking. It's super fun to get props or ask questions of what other people did.
Yeah, and learn through that. And tag me when you're there on social media and use the hashtag MathStratChat. And make sure you check out our next Math Strat Chat problem that we'll post the next Wednesday around 7 p.m. Central Time. And then pop back here to hear how we're thinking about the problem. We love having you as part of the Math is Figureoutable movement. Let's keep spreading the word that math is figureoutable. Thank you for listening and making math more figureoutable.
To learn even more, make sure you register for our free challenge at mathisfigureoutable.com/challenge. You are not going to want to miss the evenings of May 15th through 17th, starting at 7 p.m. Central.
Math teaching, go register now. That's mathisfigureoutable.com/challenge. Join us to make math more and more figureoutable. And if you can't join live, register and we'll send you access to the recordings. We'll see you there.